In this tutorial, I'm going to be discussing the form contact widget. The form contact widget is an easy way to create a contact section with details and pre-made forms, which allows users to contact you, such as sending you an email or a message. Now, the form contact, many of its functions can also be achieved with buttons or content blocks. However, the form contact is specifically designed just for contact, and it also has autoresponders built into it, so you can automatically respond to messages that you get, which is a pretty neat feature. So if you ever want anyone to send you a message or to give out your email, then you would want to use a form contact. So once you create a form contact, it's going to ask you to fill out the forms. So simply create the contact. You can see here that the form contact is empty when you first create it. If you want to add a title, you can do so at the top here. And then for the contact data, you would simply click add a new field, and this would let you add a field. The field type is going to be what they're contacting you with. So for example, if you choose email, they're going to contact you with email. And the field value is the value of that particular field. So if you chose email, you would enter an email address here. So for example, here's where you would put your email address, and then they would be able to click that and then send you an email or to whatever email is entered in this field value. And the help/label for this field is basically the text that's going to appear below that field to let people know what it is. So you can type for here, for example, email me to let people know that they should email you. And when you save this, it's going to create that field on the right here. You can see there's our title at the top, and there is our email address. And then the email me, which is that's that help/label field right there. So if you were to click on this, it would open up your email application either on your computer or your phone, and then people would then be able to send an email address to that particular email. You can also do like phone numbers, for example. So if you enter a field value of phone, here's where you would put the actual phone number of that value, and then you can enter some help text. And once you save them, you can see it's going to automatically create each field in a row right on top of each other automatically, and it organizes them. Very easy to use. You have multiple different fields. You can do SMS, which is the text messaging, so you'd enter phone number here as well. WhatsApp is your free it's a free messaging platform, so you would enter the WhatsApp phone number for the field value, and then you can type WhatsApp me here or something. And for the link, this would be like an external link, so you can link to a different website. And that's a very easy way to put in a link. And there's also address field as well, where you'd put in an address and then you can show someone an address. And you can see here on the right, it automatically created all the fields for me. And this contact form, this switch controls this contact form right here with all of these boxes. This allows users to send messages. So if you don't want people to send you a message using this and you want them to use just like your email or text message you can switch this off. When you switch that off, it's going to hide that contact form. You can see that contact form is now gone. So it'll be just these. People would be able to just click on these, and that would open up in their phone app or however, and then they would be able to call you or email you. But if you want them to send you a message from the website directly, you can enable the contact form, and then people would then be able to enter their information, a message, and then it would go to whatever email you set here in the send form data to. You'd have to put like your email address, and then that's where that message would go, or you can post it to a form as well. If you know a URL of a form, it'll post that automatically. And then once this is enabled, the contact form, the autoresponder will be enabled as well. If the contact form is not enabled, the autoresponder will actually be hidden, but you would simply turn the autoresponder on if you want to enable that. And what this does is this is going to automatically respond to anybody that types their email address and their message here. So if someone were to type their email address and message, it would respond with all of this information. So the from address would basically be where the email looks like it's coming from. And the auto response subject is going to be the main subject for that email, just like every email has a main subject and a from address. You can also do a from name. So if you put your actual name here, it'll appear as the email address and then your name right next to it. And then the body of the auto response. So you can put here, like, thank you for messaging me. I will get back to you as soon as possible, or something like that. Once that's all set, people would be able to fill out this information, click send form, and then whatever email address they put here, they would then get a message from this autoresponder. So that's an easy way to engage with people messaging you, let them know that their voice has been heard or that they're going to be responded back to, and it's a very powerful tool as well. Now, as for additional options, or just like all the other widgets, you can determine whether this is mobile only or desktop only, or if it has to be logged in. It's often useful for the form contact to make one mobile only and one desktop only. You can, for example, put your phone number on the mobile only and take that off of the desktop so it takes up less space because nobody ever really calls from a desktop. So you can use these, very powerful and very easy, to determine what is and isn't shown on mobile versus desktop. And for the additional styles, or just like all the other widgets, you can determine the space that it takes up on the desktop, as well as some of the margins and the custom class if you know CSS, as well as the background. You can do a nice background, you can do solid colors, images, even videos. So if you wanted to do a nice, very basic gray background or something for this whole contact form, you can create a background, save it, and then it'll fill out this whole form with that background. So it's very easy to use, very simple, and if you ever want anybody to contact you, then the form contact widget is definitely the widget that you're going to want to use.